Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to a Monday night Talking Town, here to discuss the game that was yesterday's 1-1 home draw. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings in our live chat. So many of you are already doing so. I want any opinion on your football club this evening. Player performance, tactics, the goals against. I can see some Alex Palmer chat already bubbling away in our live chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, even if you're watching on catch up. And of course, if you want to come on the show, you are more than welcome to do so. We have a third slot. Look, it's just there waiting for somebody to come and take it. Who wants it? We've even got 4 slots. You know, we're getting interactive on this show, Matt. We've even got 4 slots. In a minute, be like,
there we do 5.
What was that famous TV show with like the famous squares, and there was a celebrity in each square?
Celebrity squares.
There you go. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, right? Being squares and celebrity squares. Yeah. Come on the show if you want to. Just ask for the link in the chat. Put ! Link, and then it should be delivered to you via our Nightbot, which I've turned off excessive emojis, Max. I know it was annoying a couple of our people in the chat who like to use emojis because it kept telling them off. It kept saying,
"Don't miss a trick, does it? Don't miss a trick." That thing. That's the problem with AI.
No, yeah, exactly. It does not miss the trick. But we're here to discuss yesterday's game. Obviously, 1-1. So 2 back-to-back 1-1. In fact, there's 3 draws on the bounce, but 2 back-to-back league 1-1. A very different style of 1-1, though. Town come out of the blocks really well. Their pressing is brilliant. The pressing leads to the goal. Szmodics involved, George Hirst involved, then Jack Clark, and it's an own goal. Credit is an own goal, and it is an own goal. It does come off the Southampton player last. But they equalise, and there's lots of sort of talking points about the equaliser. And then from there, it's who can get that second goal. You really had that feeling that it was going to be winner takes all, whoever scores the second. Nobody did. It finished 1-1. That is the long and short of it, but we all know the long and short of it. How are we feeling? Matt, what is your feeling on this Monday evening sitting here after that 1-1 draw?
Yeah, panned out as we called it on air, didn't we? We said Birmingham would be a draw. We probably thought this would be a draw. So I think in isolation against 2 teams I'm expecting to be in the top 3, hopefully we'll be one of the teams in the top 3 with them. I think they're probably good results, really, because it means when we've gone head-to-head with them, we've not lost any ground on them. It'd be different if we'd lost one of those games. We've pulled it out of the fire against Birmingham, and we played all right at Portman Road yesterday. Certainly we looked a different beast at Portman Road as we expected to be. It wasn't a hostile home fans of St Andrews, was it? It was a chance for us to actually get back on home turf. Which hasn't been a fortress for us for 12 months, has it?
No.
I mean, it's supposed to bring some pressure, right? You've not performed well at home. But I mean, it didn't look like that, did it? We won up within 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a real good start from Ipswich Town. We do go up so well. Our press is on point to start the game. I know that's probably something that they really wanted, particularly being the first home league game of the season. Before we go any further, don't forget this show is brought to you in partnership with Southampton Osteopaths and Match Bingo. A bit more about them later on. We've got some comments coming in, and I want to talk about the tifo, the banner to start. We can talk about that home feeling. You're returning home, start of a new league campaign, the first league game. Did you see the banner from your seat?
I could see it, but I couldn't read it. What did it say?
Oh, that's a good question. I got a picture of it, but I didn't actually.
I don't know. It looked good, and the flags looked fantastic. And then you got all the streamers, or whatever it was, the blue and white ribbons that came out off from the top tier and the lower tier. Well done, Blue Action. Thought that was fantastic. They always do those things really well. I think Britain, England, whatever, finds kind of that kind of ultra fandom quite difficult to do. It's not really in our DNA. It's more of a sort of continental Europe thing, but. Full marks to everyone who put that together yesterday. It costs a lot to do that. It's not cheap to do that.
No, absolutely not.
For the love of the club. So I thought it was tremendous. And as we know, the season before, everyone got the didn't they? Because the banner came down and no one could see the teams coming out. Again, this is where the British are different to the Germans, for example, which is part and parcel every week. That kind of thing getting unfurled, a banner unfurled, going right across 2 stands or whatever. But full marks to Blue Action. I thought it was very good. Very good.
Yeah, it says side by side, a sea of blue and white is what I can read it as. Although I haven't got my glasses on, so somebody else can correct me if that is incorrect. But I was busy snapping it. I just didn't take the time to read it. But that's what it was. I thought it was brilliant, and I love the flags with it, and of course had the normal pyrotechnics that we have at Portman Road these days. That's the standard there.
The Premier League ones.
Yeah.
Wherever knows, was that just for the first game, or are we going to get that all the way through? We thought that was gone, didn't we? That was because when you could smell after the fire's gone, you got the burn. comes across the stadium. I felt like it was the smell of the Premier League. Clearly, Championship as well.
That can stay because that's right in front of me, and I think in the winter months that'd be nice.
We'll enjoy.
Nice bit of heat as it goes, and I quite like it as well. It's quite the occasion. You're entering the arena. You know, you're entering the gladiator arena, as it were, and this is the place. This is the time. This is the now, and I hope it stays all season long. What I hope doesn't stay all season long, and I thought we had got rid of, by the way, which is not anything to do with the football. It is how long it takes to get through a turnstile going into the Cobble Stand, because all the searches that we all thought were just because we're in the Premier League, that they were rained on my stand, Matt. It took forever. Well, it felt like forever. Yeah,
it took a while for us to get into the Pioneer as well. And you paid 15 quid again, did you, for the car? Was that a thing again?
Of course I did, yeah, because that's never going to go down again, is it? Things always go up, never come down. That always feels like the way. And one thing we hope does come up and never comes down again is this football club. Once we eventually, hopefully, get it back to the Premier League. And we started okay. This is obviously Southampton, another title contender, another top 6 team. We're Birmingham on opening day. And I thought our start, Matt, was brilliant. We were fast, we were at it, we were in their faces. And the press is what leads to the first goal. Szmodics, Hirst, and then it all goes right for Town. For once, the ball falls correctly and ends up in the back of the net. And you're thinking this is a great start. This is the start you need when you come into the game. The whole backdrop, more fans than squad in terms of players departing, no one coming in. We're not ready for this. We're not ready for that. Yeah. That's what you needed, right, to really lift the place and keep that energy that we all went there with really high.
Yeah, we got off to a tremendous start, didn't we? And again, we said, if we could, I don't know if I said it on Football Martin's Southampton show. I felt if we could get a foothold in quick and get a goal up, that might alleviate some of the fears and the ghosts from St Andrews, where we didn't have a shot until the 93rd minute, and that was the penalty, wasn't it? As it's transpired, actually, we only had one shot on target yesterday, because obviously they count the goal as the Harwood Bellis own goal, don't they? So again, we were probably just lacking that little bit of firepower. I think that comes with the threadbare squad. I mean, when I talk about us finishing top 3, I think our team's going to have to look drastically different to the one we saw yesterday and at St Andrews, just because of the squad size and the transition from the Premier League down into the Championship. I mean, we're not alone in that. I mean, as we said the other week, saw that with Leeds. I think they had like 6 points after 5 games or something. Yep. So we're not alone in, taking our time to transition. It's just frustrating as fans, isn't it, that you're not seeing the volume of players coming through. But it'll be very interesting to see what the squad looks like once the window has shut. And I suppose we'll come to this in a minute, but Ivan Azon is not going to be one of those players.
No, he's not.
Joining us, sadly. But to the personnel that was there, I mean, look, again, Szmodics, I thought played very well yesterday. There's a few rumours floating around him, but I said to David, who sits next to me, it's going to be black and blue when he wakes up this morning. And he was getting smashed all over the shop, wasn't he? I mean, he had quite a long injury. He was down for an injury time, wasn't he? Down at the Churchman's End. And of course, he clatters into the keeper at the North Stand end. So, he done everything you always say, mine. The brick cherry, he gave you 110%.
He did.
Going in on 50-50 balls. Tremendous. And again, you see the growth of George Hirst, because he puts the cross in for what we thought was the Jack Clark goal. And in fact, it's the Harwood Bellis goal. So again, he looks good. Still a question mark whether or not he would be I'd be interested to see what everyone thinks in the comments. Have you seen enough now over 2 games for him to be your lead striker? Or are you looking at this number 9 coming in?
Lead striker, George Hirst. I thought we were pivoting to Jack Clark.
That's Delap's replacement. So Delap's gone, as we know. Who fills the void? I mean, he's done very well in 2 games, I think, George Hirst. I think he's done very well. It's whether or not he can do it over a season, because as we know, he gets injured a lot. So we don't really have a comparison point, do we? I hope so, because I think he's looked very good. Still a question mark over his stamina. I mean, he was knackered at the end, wasn't he? That's when he needed the replacement to come on. And of course, Al Hamidi wasn't in the squad yesterday. Rumours of injury. Well, I think McKenna said, didn't he? Injury there. So we could have done that. Ivan Azon coming in and playing against Preston. So I just hope there's on the old dashboard, I hope there's a B option to him. They can get in quick. Yeah. Because time is ticking, isn't it? I mean, look, it's the 18th today. So you only got less than 2 weeks now. Or 2 weeks today until it shuts.
Time is indeed ticking away. Yeah, you do need that striker. Because, look, it's not that we all love George Hirst, and I don't think you'll find many people who don't love George Hirst. And he does always have seems to have this knack of being in the right place, right time, and being a part of it. The goal on yesterday really sums that up. he's in the right place. He puts a lovely ball back across the face of the box, and we managed to get a goal from it the week before. Penalty, but he was involved in some of our hold-up play, which is away from home is so much key. But his injury record is so well documented and spoken about, particularly on shows such as this.
Yeah.
To head into the season with himself, then you've got Ali, if he remains at the football club, who is potentially carrying an injury. So that's two players, one who's got an injury record and one who's already injured. And then you've got Akpom, who's had a limited pre-season. It does feel like you just need that extra insurance in that department, whether Ali stays or not, because you've still got players there that it's a hope and a prayer sometimes in terms of can they stay fit for 46. And the likelihood is it's not, because the championship is a long old season. It's a slog. You are going to get injuries and suspensions and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. You are going to get those. We saw it last season, didn't we, in the Premier League? Certainly, I think Al Hamidi would have been moved on before the window closed if he hadn't got injured. Look, he was a beneficiary of getting to play in the Premier League last season because Hirst got injured and we couldn't get like Brozier or Ioannidis or Walate Lafa or any of these players in. So he stuck around and now he's actually the full guy in that he's not going to get a move away and will still be around certainly until January. But he's not going to be good. Look, let's make no bones about it. I don't think he'd even got in that Bromley team from last week in the Carabao. He ain't going to be good enough for us to sustain a promotion till, I don't think. Look, he's got all the attitude, fantastic. Gives you all the energy and everything like that.
Yeah,
we said last week, Joshua Osman rightly said in that Bromley game, he ran himself into the ground and was asked to play on the wing. Really difficult. And he done his best, but he's limited really. And his growth from League Two to the Premier League, in theory, has probably hampered him a little bit. The club's got bigger than what his skill set is, as you always say, Martin, about Humphreys and various other players. So we will need another number 9, and we wanted that Ivan Azon to come in. That ain't going to happen. So it's back to the drawing board, but quick.
Well,
because we're not going to be able to sustain a promotion till, I don't think, on what we've got. Like I said, at the moment, we won't. I think we can finish top 3 with McKenna and a squad of players put together. But what we're looking at the moment isn't going to be anywhere near that, I don't think. Is my take on it.
Well, no, and I agree. And don't forget, you can come on the show if you so wish to. Just ask for the link and you shall appear. We do have a spare seat waiting just for somebody to come on and have their say about their football club. But you keep mentioning Azon. Let's mention that, obviously, McKenna saying doesn't expect him to join the club in this window, which I've never heard, I don't think, from McKenna in terms of like a transfer in the sense of this window. That very sort of
interesting take that. Well, then we mentioned that, didn't we? That's an interesting terminology to use. This window. Does that mean he could join in January then?
Well, most of our strikers we chase do, to be fair, don't we?
Yeah. It was a very easy deal to do, wasn't it? In that Fabregas had already said in his press conference over in Como, they play Lazio, I think, coming up. That Azon had come over, would travel to Ipswich, etc., and we mentioned all that. It's a very easy deal to do. So we can only presume he failed medical. What else is there?
This is it. Well, maybe he stayed in just a couple of nights at the had the Nathan Broadhead bed and thought, not for me, not for me.
Or couldn't find the Brewdog. Well, any of these things.
Things.
Yeah, so I'm only speculating here, but considering it's a loan, he was out injured when he joined from Zaragoza to Como. He don't even play a first team game. Only come back in this summer, pre-season, scored goals, suddenly on our radar, comes to town, pre-stringent medical. As we saw with Brozier, history repeating. Luckily, there wasn't a £30 million deal on the table.
Well, no, this is it.
So, yeah, we've been have we been unlucky there? Have we targeted 2 players in the space of a year that have a dodgy injury record? Probably that, in actual fact. We haven't really helped ourselves. Brozier was out long-term knee injury. Don't sign for us. Goes Everton, barely plays. Azon comes in, signed injured with Como. Don't play. Comes to us. Don't pass the medical. Have we wasted time now? Like we did last season. Yeah.
There is big question marks there. Have you wasted time? How are you? Why are you going after players that particularly have this injury record, back-to-back windows? It's one of the it's a disappointment as a fan, though, isn't it? Because you get yourself up for it. You think, oh, this is gonna be great. I've seen so many different social media posts about about Pablo Canyago. We've all got great fond memories of Pablo, and you think this could be something really exciting and really special, and then it doesn't happen, and it's like
you go to great lengths to get a Zaragoza fan on mine. It's not going to happen. He's like Brozier all over again, isn't it? It's very frustrating now. It annoys me, really. Ipswich have been burnt twice there now over failed medicals. which suggests to me, what are these the A options? As we said earlier, I mean, how have Cahuste and Akpom become the A options in our transfer dealings when neither are actually fit? I know we've got a cameo from Cahuste yesterday. That suggests to me they were probably down the pecking order, really. So then you ask yourself, you know, because we've got no context to this, are these desperate moves to try and bolster a squad, at least to January anyway?
Well, at this point of the window, I would edge towards no at this point of the window. But if it was later in the window, you could certainly be having that conversation. But yes, cat is out the bag. Yes, I had as Augusta fan already lined up. I was excited to get somebody, and I was like, "This excellent. We can get the inside track on the player." And then the club.
It's a shame. He looked good. He looked really good in and around the box. He looked really good. I can see why people. I mean, he's a bit lazy in it. He's Spanish, Cunyago, a bit of a folklore legend at Portman Road, but he did look decent. So I can see why they scouted him. The only thing is, bad leg.
Yeah, but from my point of view, Matt, the club's really got one thing to do: sign the player. I've done my hard work. I've managed to find a fan. Like, come on, you got one job: get the pen in his hand, get it signed. But anyway,
hopefully this opens the door for someone else. I hope it means going back to what you said earlier. When you're chasing players across multiple windows, you'll try go back for Latte Laff. I think he's perfect for us. Same height as him as well. About the same height as us on. He wasn't over 6 foot, was he? As on, he gave you a slightly different look, I suppose, to what Hirst would have done. Oh well. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, so David's a bit disappointed with McKenna and Ashton about the transfer market so far. I don't think David's particularly alone in that. Joe says, it's a disgrace that we haven't signed a striker since April. We knew that was leaving. We don't get one by the end of the week. It's a disaster for Joe. Joe, thanks for the comment. I'm going to pick up a little bit on that, actually, because this is what the show's all about. You put the comments, you put your opinions, we discuss them, you come on the show, we discuss them in person. But as Joe's not on the show, Joe, you're welcome to. It's a disgrace. It'd be a disaster. There's sort of the two big words that are sort of
disgrace, disaster. I'm not sure it's those. I get what Joe's saying. I'd say it's disappointing. It's another D word. I'd say it's disappointing. Certainly because they've not been able to replace Delap since April. I mean, that's 4 months ago. So I do get that. I do get that thinking, and it is frustrating because you think to yourself, if you did have, someone who's going to be the next Delap, for example, he might have come off the bench yesterday and got you the 3 points, which has been a real bonus couple of points for us. So, I mean, look, McKenna knows that as well, to be honest with you. But, yeah, it is disappointing. But, who knows really what this list looks like? And have they gone through these targets and they've landed then on us on? Then it looks dodgy because he's got a bad knee. So who's left? Who's below him? Well, that's what you're looking at now, isn't it? So, there's lots of questions there. So I do get what he's saying. Yeah.
And it is disappointing. I wouldn't necessarily say. I mean, is it a disaster? You knew your number one striker was leaving in April, and it's now August the following, and the next season, and you haven't yet really. Okay. Well, you haven't replaced him. That is. I mean, that's got to be borderline disaster.
It will certainly be a disaster if we repeat again what we said. We're already repeating it once with Broja/Ivan. It'd be even more of a disaster when the window shuts September the 1st in 2 weeks, and you've only got Hirst as your recognised striker going into.
This is it.
So that will be a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, we're in disaster territory. We're approaching it.
The disaster zone.
We can see the signs for disaster. The disaster town. But we want to stay well clear of it. Let's be honest. But Joe, thanks for the comment. Do come on the show if you want to have any more of your say. We've got Rax Max. Would you take Sargent from? Look, Josh Sargent.
I know you would. Well, he keeps scoring for them, doesn't he? He keeps scoring for them.
How he's still there, I just do not know, because he is a quality.
He was supposed to be going into the Bundesliga, wasn't he? And they lost Borja Sands, didn't he? He's gone Porto. I thought Sargent was going to Wolfsburg or Werder Bremen, one of the W's in the Bundesliga. Plays in green, one of the other. But he's still there. I mean, look, he scored 2 in 2 now, hasn't he, for him?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about their goal very quickly. Funnily enough, this is a player that I remembered Football Martin talking about in the excellent season preview show that you did with Martin and Chris. The 18-year-old that's coming onto the scene. Could get a few goals, I think, is what Martin said on that show. Well, sadly, he's got the first one, and it was yesterday. It was a good header. It's a free header. There's no one around him. Yeah. And I've got question marks, and I said it on yesterday's show, Matt. I've got question marks over the goalkeeper because I think he should be coming through it first and foremost. And then second of all, yes, it's 5-6 yards away from him, but it's not either side of him. And I'd like to see him get enough on it to save it. But that may be the harsher one of the two criticisms that I've got towards Alex Palmer there.
Well, I think everyone's a failing, to be honest. If you don't look, because they broke, didn't they? And it looked like
They
they broke away, and that looked like, I remember saying, "Oh, we're in trouble," and it looked like we'd negated it, only for them to get the ball back again. Was it Armstrong on the right hand side? Was it?
Yes.
Someone
So
like
he
that,
puts a cross in first of all. Taylor gets his leg out, stops it, and I thought the same as you. Oh, we got away from it. We got away with this one.
Yes.
And then Ryan Fraser puts in the most delightful of balls.
Oh, Fraser. Yeah, X-Town.
Delightful of balls. Like, it's a really inviting ball for a player to come onto and attack it. But I also think it's a really inviting ball for a goalkeeper in your 6-yard box to come and get that. It's a lofted ball.
Defender to attack. Yeah, we didn't do it, did we?
And as I sit here today, ladies and gentlemen, as a goalkeeper that played in the Sunday level, right, the Sunday morning league, I can sit here and tell you with great critique that he should be coming to get that. Like, who am I telling really? But,
I don't disagree with that, really. Or you've got various players in there, haven't you? Davis agrees. I think O'Shea was marking someone, and Taylor's in there too, like you rightly say. There was bodies there to probably clear that, and he does get a free header, and it squirms under Palmer, doesn't it? So much so that the Southampton fans, not that we knew those in the stadium at this point, didn't even know it had gone in till about 2 seconds after it hit the net. But he's very good. He's very good, that Jay Robinson. Yeah, he looks decent. I mean, they subbed him in the second half, but he looks very good. But you give a kid a free header inside the 6-yard box, wherever it was, it's nailed on to be a goal, isn't it? So, it was, again, disappointing, because we gave away a disappointing goal against Birmingham, really, which I felt we could have done better with. And we've done the same here. Again, where history's repeating on failed medicals on strikers, we're doing it again. We're just giving away sloppy goals. But I mean, this just seems to be in our DNA.
It does. It does seem to be in our DNA. And I'm willing to concede that he can't do any more than he does for the actual goal, but I'm still going to maintain I think he should be coming for that.
Well, you saw Walton come for the ball against Bromley, don't you, on the edge of the 6-yard box? He don't get it, and they still scored. Do you know what I mean? So I mean,
that's the time you don't come through, when you've got to come through a crowd of bodies. And you're right about numbers back. It very much, watching it back reminded me of a goal that we conceded last year, in the sense of you've got bodies back, but they're not actually marking anybody.
Exactly that. I counted 6 or 7 in that penalty box. So actually,
Grass don't score goals, Matt.
Well, you said that last season. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, exactly that. Where they've broken away, we've actually recovered pretty well to get blue shirts in there and make it quite difficult. But actually, it was quite easy. Well, it's always easy, isn't it? If you're going to float the ball in and give them a free header, as Jack Taylor got at Molyneux from the corner against Wolves last season. No one really went for the ball, and it was an easy goal. Same here, same distance. No one's attacked us across.
Yeah, lots of conversation about Palmer in the live chat. We've got Rob, who thinks Palmer's overrated by some of the fans. To a distinctly average, says Rob. I think that's a little bit harsh.
Rob, for what reason do you think that? I mean, did he make any errors yesterday? Well, other than maybe could have come for the ball, right? I get that. But he's not doing anything glaring, is he? Well, not Muric levels of error, is it?
Well, hang on about, right? Because he is coming close. He is coming close to, because as Mark Smith, which if I think it's the Mark Smith I know. Evening, Mark. Nice to see you in the chat. If it isn't, still welcome, Mark. You're more than welcome, whether I know you or not. Not loving Palmer playing from the back. He looks uncomfortable trying to do it. Then we all get stuck. We all getting stuck in a corner.
Well, that's not Palmer's fault, though, really, is it? Because he's been signed on the skill set by McKenna, as you rightly said, Martin, last season. They've had to put a sticking plaster over the goalkeeping situation, because Muric wasn't working out, and then Walton come in, and no one particularly liked him either after a few games in there. So they had to bring someone in, and Palmer was a really good option. But you don't sign that player if you think he ain't going to be able to play the style that you want. And we know that's playing out from the back. I mean, it's a slightly different way this season, isn't it? Because you haven't got Morsey dropping on the D. I mean, we do see that from time to time. It's a little bit different, isn't it? In that it's more of a sideway pass either side of the 6-yard box, and they're bringing it out of play from now. But I don't think you can blame Palmer there particularly if he's been signed and the manager's asking him to do a specific routine to get, to play out from the back or whatever. That might, that if that's not his skill set, then we shouldn't have signed him. Because once again, you're thinking you're putting square peg round hole, aren't you?
They had to do something in January, didn't they? I like Palmer, and I still remember what Chris Hall said on the show. He needs love. He's a goalkeeper that needs love.
Yeah, I think he does mostly. You certainly don't get the same amount of attention around Palmer as you do with Muric. I think he's done pretty. Look, people have got short minds, haven't they? Look at what he did at Villa. Unbelievable. No one was moaning about him then, were they?
That's true.
Phenomenal performance. That. Yeah, I mean, look, the irony of all this is, who probably would have been best placed to come for that cross yesterday? Muric. For all his errors, his Premier League take stats, taking the ball from the air was really good. But it was everything else. So actually, what does that tell us? There's no such thing as perfection. Where he's really good on one stat, he's going to be poor in another. Where Palmer might be really good on, I don't know, shot stopping, his distribution might not be so good. But that's down to our style of play. Has to fit in with him a little bit as well. No point making him the nervous wreck. We've already done that to Muric. He's buggered off to Italy.
This is football, Matt. You know, this week he's being spoken about. Next week he'll be spoken about in a different term because he saved the penalty or he saved the last-minute shot that kept with the game. This is football. This is what we do as fans. And yeah, it's one of those things. I'll get a few more comments. We've got ITFC bid waiting to come in. We've got Tractor Boy says, is Brownhill still available? I believe he is.
I was thinking this yesterday. I looked that up myself. Yeah, he's still available. Yeah, but the rumor is that there's lots of high wages and
I'd pay it.
Signing on fees. But I mean, look, Collins has put it in there. And good to see you back home, Colin. Fantastic news. He says we've got the money. Go and spend it. I mean, look, we ain't hardly touched the parachute payment. And we've done what? 60 odd million.
Yeah.
off Delap and Namari, haven't we?
Yeah. Absolutely. Don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Combine the excitement of live sport, the thrill of bingo. Your card has 15 random events from a live football match, and you watch them get marked off as the game unfolds. It's a brand new way to enjoy live football. You must be 18 or over. Terms and conditions apply, and please gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Links are in our description, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to play. And I have done that myself, so I know it works. Phew. But we are partnered with Match Bingo. All right, let's bring ITFC Beard in. Beard, what are you going to say on your football club, and man? Are you well, first and foremost? Let's start with that one.
I'm very well, thank you. How's everyone?
Yeah, good.
This is a hat trick. This is a hat trick of appearances for this man here. He's racking
right?
towards a testimonial, right? He's heading.
Yeah, exactly. They all count.
They all count. Looking forward to hearing what you're going to say on yesterday's 1-1 draw.
Like I've been saying, I think there's a lot more positives in that game. It's not necessarily the result we'd all in an ideal world like, but you've got to draw the positives where you can find them. I think we played better, more positive going forwards. Yeah, the end result's not there yet. I think that's a confidence thing. That I think, I love Hirst, I really do, but I don't think he's going to be our main striker. I think he's going to contribute a lot. I think he's got a lot to add to us. Maybe first half starter, then coming off, and then we've got someone else coming in. But yeah, we need to get more shots on goal, and then I think that's it. We'll start clicking, and it'll be all cylinders firing for us.
Matt, what are your thoughts on that? I think he's not too far wrong. Do you?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And of course, the idea was, we've mentioned it already. Ivan Azon was probably going to be that player.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's your take on that, Beard? I mean, are you frustrated that Ipswich have been burnt again? Put all their eggs in the brochure basket last season.
It seems to be an ongoing thing for us, though, doesn't it? It's like, yeah, we seem to recruit well, but like when it comes to like the crucial things, we seem to be missing out on the strikers. Like we got Delap, but that wasn't our only target that summer, was it? We were going for multiple, and
no hype behind him either, because he signs at the same time as Greaves. Oh, the hype was on Greaves, wasn't it? And then that's what surprised everyone about Delap. But it's proving a problematic area to increase the squad. I totally agree with you on that one. And
it's like,
are you on the disaster side of the coin, or would you say it's disappointing?
Definitely not. I think that is, you've said it before. Us as Town fans, we can be very fickle. So we'll be loving the team one week, and then all of a sudden we'll have a bad result. Oh, we're doomed. We're going to get relegated. I think it's 2 games in. We're very much finding our feet. I think we're gonna be okay. I don't know if we're gonna go top 2. Hopefully, if the right recruitment comes in, and then I think if Brownhill wants ridiculous wages, I think we've got the money to spend it. We're not spending it on transfer fee. Give him a higher wage. Get him in. He's a proven leader in that. I think that's what we've missed is our talismanic person in the middle who can hold that down and will just fire us forward. I think Brownhill, is going to be one of the most important signings if we can get him. I see a rumour that we've gone back in for Hackney.
That was playing around on the internet today. I saw that. I mean, I hope so. I mean, that's the kind of play he scored for Middlesbrough, didn't he, at the weekend? That's the kind of player, really, that you want for the box-to-box. I know everyone's excited about Cahuste returning. I think Hackney would be another level above that in terms of what he gives you as a midfield presence. He gives you goals and assists, for one thing, which we've not really seen from Cahuste. As much as everyone likes, he got a great cheer yesterday when he came on. That's brilliant. And he's chosen some better options. But for me, I want someone who's a little bit more offensive minded than what we saw from Cahuste last season. But that might have been we was in the Premier League and that was his instructions from McKenna. We'll just have to wait and see as the season progresses for that, I guess.
But I think at this level, certainly, sorry, Beard, I think, he was one of the better performers for us last year, Jens Kajust. And I think at this level, it is a drop in football. That's no disrespect to the Championship. It's not the Premier League. And I think he'll really stand out and perform at a high level. But I think a midfield options of Hackney, Kajust, Matusiwa, Taylor or Humphreys or both, I mean, that's much stronger than we stand today, and much stronger than we stood this time last year. Obviously, another rumour doing the rounds. We all got excited Saturday night. I was up till 1 o'clock trying to put a video together. It never came to fruition. It's obviously the Norwegian international forward Sindre Vale Egli from FC Neuseeland. What are your thoughts on that one?
I've looked at it. I've seen some of his highlight videos. Looks an interesting prospect. It looks a bit lightweight. I think he'd struggle with the physicality a little bit, but I think the upside on him, there's a lot of potential. He would replace Amari, kind of like that role. But I mean, I'm more excited about what Philogene can do with a full season with us.
Agreed. He looked very good yesterday.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I've been very critical of him, Bede, last season, because as I said countless times, didn't look like he wanted to be here. But I feel like he can probably fill the Amari shaped hole for us. I know he's not as explosive as Hutchinson. He's not that kind of player, is he? But he's a very clever footballer. And maybe he's just got used to being in Suffolk now. Maybe he's warmed to being at Portman Road. He certainly looked it yesterday. I thought he played very well, and he looked good in pre-season,
Yeah, I think Amari going, as much as I would have loved him to stay, I think it's going to benefit players like Philogene so much, because that's less competition, and that kind of like name Amari's got that nostalgia now for us as a club, that we're all going to be like, oh, Amari this. I think Jayden can come in and do his thing, and I think he's going to really do an important part for us as well.
That said, if there's anything in this town close to agreeing a fee, this player looks really good. If you put his name into YouTube, you do sit there and go, wow, this could be a really exciting prospect, a really, up and coming player, only 19 years of age. Lots of, raving comments about him, in terms of he could be the next Haaland and this, that, and the other. Just amazing, really.
But I think it's all context, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can make anyone look good on compilation clips.
But it's also the league, isn't it? Haaland had all the hype around him because he then went off to Germany and he was producing in Germany and stuff like that. It's good to look good it's easy to look good in a league where is less competitive than, I would say, it's probably on League One standards.
I don't know anything about the league he's playing in. It's not one I follow week in, week out. I barely keep up with the English leagues week in, week out. But look, from what you see on clips, what you read, it all sounds
one for the future.
Whether it comes off or not remains to be seen. But in terms of Jayden yesterday, I agree. I thought he played really well. I was very frustrated in the sense we couldn't get him going more. There was the game plan to me looked like it was to try and get him in behind as often as we possibly could. With his movement, particularly, he would come short, then spin away, trying to create that space in behind. And I just thought there was so much opportunity there to do that more, and we didn't do it for one reason or another. But
wasn't we saying the exact same things about Amari when he first came in and started getting around the games? Though you say you saw the raw diamond in him, but he just needed that refining.
Yeah, very yes, but a bit different in the sense of I think this is more team play. I think this is more the squad need to play together, and I think we saw a little bit of that in the second half with Ben Johnson and Jack Clark, where Jack Clark pointed to where he wanted the ball. Johnson played a lovely ball through to where he pointed, and Jack Clark didn't follow through on where he wanted the ball.
It was your side, wasn't it?
Particularly with Jayden, his movement yesterday, and once they pick up on that, I think that's going to be a real outlet for us this year. But I was really happy with him. Every time he touched the ball, it looked good. It looked good. Looked like something could happen, and that's what you want from your impact players. On Jack Clark, where are you? Because I said yesterday, I think on my live reaction from the car, I'm going to get a bit frustrated watching him in the cobble stand all season long, because if this is this is what we're going to be seeing, because it's just some opportunity like that. We're there with Johnson. He points. You make the point as a player. You then got to follow through on that run. You can't point and then not do it. I think as a player, I love the player. We've all wanted him from Sunderland. It's now about trying to find the way we get we get it out of him.
I'm 100% the same. I like that you see little flashes of brilliance, when he cuts into the box and he's about to do something. And you're like, my God, yes, this is why we paid what we paid and stuff like that. But then I don't know if it's a confidence thing, a physicality thing. He gets seem to be bullied by players that he just should be sort of like brushing off, or if he's playing in a system that he's not used to, we're not utilizing him how he was. I don't know. It's just something needs to click. I think it's not just him, though. I think the whole squad is not clicking in the way that we want them to or expect them to. And I think given time, this is probably the best time to do it now. We've played the two strongest, I think, is going to give us a good, strong game, and we've not lost. I think now it's time to get their confidence in with some lower opposition, and then we should start just going up from that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Jack Clarke? Because it does feel like a little bit, Matt, that it's almost like me with a new mobile phone. Kieran McKenna doesn't quite know what Jack Clarke can do or how best to use Jack Clarke yet, and it's like me with a mobile phone. I get a new mobile phone, it takes me years before I work out that it's got cinematic on the camera or whatever.
Or my phone number to call me on.
Oh, I'm never going to do that.
I would totally agree with what Beard says there. And I would actually say that Jack Clarke is falling foul of the same criticisms that Palmer's getting, in that you've got a player in a position that everyone's moaning about because his distribution isn't good enough. That's not the player's fault. That's the tactics that he's being given by the management. And I would say the same for Clarke, because where was Clarke actually decent for Sunderland, getting 15 goals, 15 assists as an old school, old-fashioned winger? And he doesn't play that role for us. I mean, look, he actually tracked the run very good yesterday, didn't he? Unlucky not to score. We all thought in the stadium he'd scored until it came on the screen. It was an obvious own goal, wasn't it? But he still had the wherewithal to get into that edge of that 6-yard box and be there to pounce. So again, I think probably he's playing. He's unlucky in that it's not really his true position that we're asking him to play at Portman Road. It's not what you saw at the Stadium of Light. And then he gets criticised for not being good enough when he's not playing the same role.
But I wonder if that's a part of the reason why he's gone from the left to the right. Because obviously with Leif Davis at the football club, you're never going to have an out-and-out winger on the left, because an out-and-out winger on the left will eat the space that you want Leif Davis to be going into, to be the effective Leif Davis that we all seen, all loved, and topped the assists 2 years ago. So I wonder if that's played into the change. Obviously, I'm not Kieran McKenna, I'm not Martin Pert, and I don't know for sure what they're thinking tactically beyond changing him from the left to the right. But maybe because you haven't got a Leif Davis on the right at right back, you've got an opportunity to play a more chalk on boots winger on the right, where he can hug the space on the touchline, be effective with the ball at his feet. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe that
makes it even worse now, right? He's not even a right-sided player, is he? He wants to be on the left.
But am I wrong in the Championship season? Didn't he have players like Broadhead cutting in to be like a second striker, to then have Leif Davis cross the ball in? And now we're expecting kind of similar of a different player, like where Broadhead was a bit more of a sort of like an attacking-minded winger like that.
Well, I mean, certainly you saw Broadhead get 13 goals, didn't you, in that Championship promotion season? I actually think Davis was man of the match yesterday. I thought he was attacking.
No, Matusiwa.
He played very well. He played very well. But I think what you saw Davis yesterday could give you, if you look at the bigger picture across the 46 games, he could, if we can get firing again, as we did in that promotion season, he could come close to that assist record again. I mean, he had 4 good quality creating chances yesterday in his long sleeves. Look good nose.
Oh, no, Leif Davis is quality, well documented, well spoken about, and well regarded on this platform, and many others. But Matusiwa, he was my man of the match yesterday.
Okay, very well. Yeah, good.
Talk about him before I do. €10 from David. But David, thank you so much for your generosity. David. Really kindly appreciated. I thought Matusiwa yesterday was absolutely outstanding. Yes, I did say 8 out of 10. Yes, I'll stick with 8 out of 10, even though I've seen 6s and 7s and various different ratings.
7.5 for me.
I don't do halves.
Who gave him a 6 out of 10?
I don't do halves. But what
I don't do anything by half.
No, I certainly do not. I thought he was the best midfield player on that park, particularly in the second half yesterday. He dominated the game. He bossed the game. He grabbed it by the scruff of its neck. Always likes to try and make his passes go forward. Always got his head up looking forward, as opposed to maybe on the sideways or backwards. I've fallen head over heels in love with Matusiwa, and I won't have a word said against him. I think he's
it's going to be Jack Taylor all over again now, isn't it?
or Harper.
Yeah. You're like the kiss of death to our new players that are coming in. You're like, you put your hat on them and that's it.
No, to be fair to me, Raheem Harper played one friendly against Millwall when I made that judgment. It was a bad judgment.
Raheem the dream.
To be fair to Martin, he did play well in that game. He wasn't alone in that.
Matusiwa's played 2 games now, and both games, funnily enough, I think he started slow. Yeah. And the second half, he's really become red hot and taken over the game, and particularly the one yesterday. But how did you see his performance, Matt? You weren't your man of the match. So I'll start with you. How did you see Matusiwa? What did you like?
I would say he was just behind Davis. I just like the attacking threat that Davis had. It made me think he could break that assist record again at this level. But Matusiwa gave me everything I thought we were probably going to see, and it was good to see that against what we're perceiving as promotion rivals. I mean, he was front and centre of the entire game. He was the most fouled player on the park. He won the most duels on the park, and he lost the most duels on the park as well, which tells you how many times the ball was coming through him. He will if the shit does hit the fan a little bit, he will get the blame soon because he hasn't quite got what Morsey brings to the table, which was bringing the ball out of defence. He is a true CDM in like that N'Golo Kante role, where he's literally just recycling it out. He tackles fantastically well. He finds a pass, but he won't bring the ball out, which people are used to seeing our number 5 do over the last 3 seasons in Morsey. So he could get some criticism for that. But again, that's not what he does. Don't judge him. It's like judging a goldfish's ability to climb a tree, I think Einstein said. Forever think it's stupid. That's not what he does. But because he's wearing 5 and playing in the same Morsey role, they're expecting him to do the same things. But that's not what he does. What he does is tackle really well, intercept really well, and get a pass going that will feed in Davis or whoever it might be. So, yeah, he looked really good yesterday. The curve can only go up for him. Really good signing that. We're all really disappointed with the players we've not brought in, or they've passed medicals or anything. They should get 10 out of 10 for getting Matusiwa in. I think he was linked to Liverpool 18 months ago. Looked really good.
And you can see why. Beard, quickly before I let you go, I know I've kept you longer than you probably thought you'd be on the show. What are your thoughts on Matusiwa? Who's your man of the match? So I'm sure it was...
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think he starts off a little slow, but once he gets going, I think he's going to get more comfortable in the role and more comfortable with being back, and playing in our system. He's going to be like our little pit bull back there, just chasing everything down, cutting it out. And yeah, he's going to, I agree with what Matt said. He's going to kind of like, we're going to compare him to Morsey, and I think he's going to fall short in that aspect because no one's going to be a Morsey for us. And to compare him is unfair on the player in that aspect. But I think outright, I think he's going to be an upgrade on Morsey. I love Morsey, I do. But in the last season, like you could see he struggled with the pace of the game and stuff like that. But that wasn't why we loved Morsey. I think it was what he adds to the game. And I think that's what we're still missing. We're missing that person who can really impact the squad and really push them on. That, that real, O'Shea's a captain, but not in the same vein as Morsey was.
Absolutely. Beard, appreciate you coming to the show. Look after yourself. All right. Top drawer as always.
See ya.
That's ITFC Beard for you there. We've got some comments coming in. We'll get to those shortly. Another conversation that's sort of come up on social media in the last 24 hours is Chaplin and Szmodics. Who do you start? Do you start one over the other? Could you play both? And I did float that a little bit in our Discord a couple of weeks ago about I think after Bromley actually. I'd love to see find a way we could get both Chaplin and Szmodics in the same team, because Chaplin's range of passing is something really special. Szmodics' ability in front of goal, we nearly saw it so close yesterday, he hit the post. He doesn't need that many chances, does Sammy? But where are you on this Chaplin Szmodics as the 10 situation? I mean, it might all be a point not worth talking about if the rumours of injury in regards to Sammy's online are true, but we don't know that for sure at the moment, so we'll talk about it. Where are you on it?
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the reasons, wasn't it? They allowed Broadhead to go, and I watched Broadhead's debut. He came on as a sub in the Wrexham West Brom game, which West Brom won 3-2, so Chris was well happy with that. But I mean, that's what's been allowed for him to go. Akpom comes in, and we know Szmodics played on a left-sided attacking role at Blackburn where he got all those goals. So actually, are you actually putting around, pegging around the hole there? So that's probably the thinking, which has allowed Broadhead to go. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, if you can get Szmodics and Chaplin in the same side, brilliant. But that's still quite a small forward line, which I think was one of our undoings in the Premier League. Yeah,
I agree. But in terms of Chaplin and Szmodics, I think they're both completely different players, both wonderful players. And in Football Manager, you'd be desperately trying to find a way to play them both together because what they can do is great. But we've seen a little bit of Sammy tucked in from the left last year. it can work, but it's not really where you want to see Sammy.
Maybe not where he wanted to play in the Premier League. I mean, certainly coming back down to the Championship where he's had success in that role. Then Akpom's had success in the 10 as well with Borough. Scored near enough the same amount of goals as what Szmodics got. Now imagine having Szmodics and Akpom in the same side. It's 60 goals right there in key positions that they're both used to playing in. Yeah, that's quite exciting. I think that's quite an exciting prospect. What I like about Chaplin is, he's not as physical as Szmodics. He hasn't got, like I say, he hasn't really got the build, but he reads the game so well. I mean, look, you only have to go back to the Coventry game when Wes Burns scores the worldy goal for the crossfield pass that led to that. I mean, that was Chaplin in a nutshell, really. And of course, he's very dangerous in and around, dare I say it, set pieces in the box with his left foot. Look, that's a really good Arsenal to have, whether or not you're starting or coming from the bench, really, isn't it? That's going to be important for us, I think. But we'll just have to wait and see. But if the rumours are to believe, and he's got an arm injury in the clash with the keeper, could rule him out for a few weeks. Hopefully not.
No, this is it. We'll keep our fingers and our toes crossed and hope that it's just one of those social media stuff that you see. Yeah. It doesn't ever go anywhere.
Happened with Philogene, didn't it? Philogene was out for the season after all. Yeah,
exactly.
Yesterday.
David says, Chap is in the 10 all day long. Great comments coming in this evening. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Always appreciate when the Chappers. I just read Chaplin, so I'm putting Chappers. really, I'm reaching that point of the show.
How did you think Taylor done yesterday, being the president of the fan club? I thought he'd done well. He got a lot of criticism yesterday. If you actually look at the stats of the midfield from Southampton in that Shay Charles and Flynn Downs, irony, we all thought he was coming to Portman Road, didn't we? But there he is. He's back at Portman Road wearing red and white stripes. I thought Jack Taylor's stats actually compared very well against those two. Yet people are still a bit critical of him. I mean, look, he had to play the majority of the game with a yellow card, didn't he? Which he got for dissent after he'd broken away. As did Matusiwa, actually. But I mean, both those centre mids for us were on yellows, weren't they? But I thought he'd done all right, to be honest. But his place will be in jeopardy, won't it? Once Cahuste is fit and Hayden Hackney might come in. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, look, as president of the Jack Taylor Appreciation Society, as PR guy, as marketing, as treasurer, as all of it, because it's only one person in the Jack Taylor Appreciation Society. What it often feels like. I was really happy with his performance yesterday. Really happy. I thought he played well. Not as well as Matusiwa. And I thought what stands out about Matusiwa more than anything is obviously he comes into it injured, carrying that hamstring. Is it hamstring or thigh strain, whichever one he's got? And you're thinking if that's a player that's coming into it carrying something, and he's bossing the midfield against Flynn Downs, who everybody was thinking, not everybody, sort of splits the fan base. Some want him back, some or a small part don't. I'm thinking, okay, it's really exciting. Jack Taylor equally, he was really there amongst it. He didn't look overawed, didn't look out of his depth. What he did was comfortable. What he did was good. Recycled possession when he needed to. But we have only created, 2 chances on target?
One shot on target, wasn't it?
In the first two shots on target in the first 2.
Yeah, in the first 2. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, one was a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. One from yesterday. Yeah. And when you're thinking about your creativity, one of those 2 midfield players has to be one that breaks the lines. It has to be one that makes.
And it's not going to be Matusiwa, is it? We know that already. So it has to be his partner. And I think hopefully that's what we'd see from Cahuste. Although he didn't really do that a lot in the Premier League, but again, we don't know what his instructions were. Certainly, you would see that if a Hayden Hackney style figure was to come in. Hopefully, Hayden Hackney, but someone of that mould, the box to box.
Exactly.
That's what I think that's probably what we're missing at the moment. Because as I say, Matusiwa ain't going to give you that offence.
No, and we still, and ITFC said bring Flynn home. We still need somebody in the Matusiwa holding midfielder role because he's carrying an injury, right? He's on 2 yellow cards already. It's a 46-game season. At some point, he's going to have to miss game time for one reason or another. Yeah. Who are you playing in the holding midfield role currently?
Yeah, absolutely. And he got subbed yesterday. It was Humphreys came on, wasn't he? And you would not really put him in that. That's not really the fit, is it? Again, square peg round the hole. So that's a very good point. But anyone who's coming in to play that role is going to be second fiddle to Matusiwa. I mean, that's just that's always been your bugbear of one up front, isn't it? Someone comes in and you think Hirst is going to be, or say we still had the lap, you're always going to be playing second fiddle. Same with that defensive role there in midfield.
But I think particularly in midfield, there's more opportunities to get minutes because of suspensions, injuries, selection, or you make 5 subs now. And I also think maybe somebody at the back end of their career. Somebody
who was the kid? Who was the lad we brought in from Blackburn? Lewis Travers?
Lewis Travis.
Now I see he was available. We might have gone to Derby with John Eustace. That's the kind of player that probably, like a Connor Townsend, like you say, sort of, just got into their 30s, game time dwindling a little bit. He could fill that role and do quite a good job for us if Matusiwa was going to be injured or suspended or come on for the last 20 or whatever it might be to see the game out or whatever. It's going to be someone of that ilk, maybe.
It's got to have to be. You don't want to, for me, you wouldn't want to turn up to Bramall Lane, would you, with Cam Humphreys as your holding midfield player? Like, that's not.
Well, maybe at the moment they're bottom of the table.
Well, okay. But still,
but
you know what I'm saying with that. As much as you might think Cam Humphreys is the next best thing, it isn't going to be in a holding midfield role. And Jack Taylor could play there, but again, it's not his natural game. Jens Hirst, you could argue, could also play there, but again, it's not his natural role.
The lack of numbers meant Barbrook played at Bromley this time last week, and in an ideal world, he goes out to League Two team on loan, really, didn't he?
Blizzard asks, "What are your thoughts on?" I said, "How do you feel about going back in for Hackney? Does it bother you at all that he always turns us down, or are you not fussed?" Gov, Matt,
we've been discussing this in the Discord, haven't we? Various people. I don't think he turned us down. I just think there was Premier League options on the table, but we were discussing this in quite great detail on Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, come and join up. Be part of that conversation with a lot of knowledgeable people, in the know people. We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, if he is pressing for a move, look, everything was agreed really, other than whether he wanted to come here. I think he was happy with the wages. I think Borough was happy with the fee. Borough have already spent the fee, haven't they, in getting new recruits in? So there is a pressure for them to sell. It's whether or not Everton or someone else was to come in. Fact, I mean, he has been linked to Man United as well. So you're talking.
Who isn't in Man United these days? Like everyone's linked with Man United these days.
Absolutely that. So I don't think it's ever, as the guys have been saying in Discord, I don't think it's ever not been off the table. Particularly, no. It's just that because if Man United or Everton come into, you're going to talk to them, aren't you? As a young kid looking to make his way into the Premier League. But it'd be great if he could maybe just take the slightly longer route, come to us, help us get promoted, then he'll be in the Premier League. That'd be the ideal.
In my head, it's like that. It's like that big button on Football Manager. You got confirm transfer, reject transfer, or stall transfer. I just think someone somewhere pressed that button. That's all it was.
Hacking the stall button.
Yeah, just a stall button. We'll hit pause on it for a couple of weeks. See how the dust settles and potentially revisit.
I'm sure he will leave. I just hope it's to Portman Road because I think look at the relationship McKenna and Carrick have. Carrick would have said to him, you're going to be in great hands if you go on to Portman Road. So whether or not he wants another season in the Championship or wants to, as we've said before, I think he'd probably be sitting on the bench if you go into a top half Premier League side, aren't you? By the looks of things.
And 20 million is 20 million. Not many clubs will be able to turn their nose up at that and think, that's a fee we couldn't do without, etc. So
I hope they can get that. It would be a good. It would be a good deal for all parties. Certainly, as that Kone went for an undisclosed fee, didn't he, from Wickham to QPR? He got mentioned with us as well. Again, is he any better than Al Hamadi? We really don't know yet. Who have been burnt on Ghassan Hadmi and Al Hamadi? Really, they both haven't really been good enough for us when we've taken a punt. I think Kone would have been a bit of a punt. Really, we want someone a little bit seasoned, a little bit more pepper on the dish, really, to try and get us in the top two, which is why I hope they go back for Latte Laf. The history says to me they might do, but we'd have to pay decent money for him. I mean, he's an MLS record, isn't he? Going from Borough to Atlanta. So we'd have to see what they would take if he was to come back, but I hope so. We'll see. Yeah.
And so if you're sitting at home thinking, how do I get access to Discord? Discord is a thank you. It's a perk of having an active membership with Talking Town. You become a member via YouTube. Hit the join button. All the T's and C's are on there, including the price, but that starts at $4.99. And we are in the process, I say we, it's a royal we, but I'm in the process of sorting out the verification for Discord, which is going through a transitional changeover process in the next couple of weeks. But that's how you that's how you get access to Discord and join people like Beard, knowledgeable people like ITFC Beard, who's one of our community volunteer moderators on there. All right, let's end the show on one word or three words to sum up yesterday. Before we do, we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Who have been providing quality osteopath and physiotherapy services in Suffolk since 1985. If you want professional experienced care, give them a call on 01449613633 and tell them Talking Town has sent you. That's Stowmarket Osteopaths, 01449613633. You ruined my structure there a little bit with mentioning Discord because it threw me. And I thought I should tell people at home how they can get access to this. Come and join us on Discord. And then it's thrown me, Matt. Completely threw us. I was like,
You don't just talk football on there either, do you? I mean, you've been chatting NFL on there before, various different bits and bobs.
Oh, all sorts goes on that Discord. Yeah, you can get and you get moaned at by me for not posting in the right channel. Come on, people, is it really difficult? Is it really difficult?
You're like this Nightbot thing in our comments there. You're the Nightbot of the Discord. ITFC Beard saying that Kone was 5 million with add-ons. Ipswich ain't spending 5 million on someone who's untried at this level. Not a chance. They would have done that, I don't think.
Well, you never know. Our house says Szmodics looking dangerous, in brackets overlooked. He's gone for 4, but the 4th is acceptable for his 3 words. Positive mental attitude, says ITFC Beard. Matt, while I head to socials, because I did post on socials for the first time in 6 months.
Found the button, did you? Found the app.
I'm not even joking. It was the first time in 6 months. What was your 1 word or 3 words to sum it?
I've got 1 word. Encouraging. I mean, as disappointing as we are that we've not won a game yet, we have had the toughest start, I think. We have, and if we, like Colin said, he wants to win the championship, and so do I. I want to see us win that silverware. And we have gone up against probably the 2 promotion rivals in Birmingham and Southampton. 1 point away, 1 at home. So, all right, so you don't never really want to win your home games, don't you? But with this early in the season, Fredbear's squad, we've not lost to either. That's why I think it's encouraging. But there's a lot of work to do in this next fortnight, because I don't, if I had a gun to my head at the moment, I would say probably Birmingham. I mean, even been linked with Mitrovic today in Saudi Arabia, is on 400 grand a week. Give me some of that money. Give me some of that bread. I mean, that just shows you the intent they've got there. I mean, how this falls in with the financial rulings, I don't know, but they've been linked with him today. So it just goes to show that they're trying to fast track themselves into the Premier League. A bit like what we did in League One up against Plymouth, remember? But of course, Plymouth win the title. We came second, didn't we? But we've gone up against 2 promotion rivals, and we are probably behind the curve on them too a little bit at the moment. Southampton look a very different beast to what came down. They won their first home game, didn't they, against Wrexham, who haven't won a game yet either, spending all the money themselves, haven't won a game yet. We look threadbare. We need to make improvements. The clock is ticking. We need that striker. Martin, we need that striker. We can't afford to do what we did in the Premier League last season. It cost us staying up at the end of the day. But yes, I'm encouraged with the 2 results we've had. I wasn't encouraged by the Bromley result. Well, bloody awful.
Well, no one was.
But the actual league form has been encouraging. Absolutely. All right.
Sid Cup says onward and upwards. Jem says positive. In response, I'm going to try and be more positive, says this season, says David. David, never change. David, never, ever change who you are. You are you. All right. So you give your opinion. Wait for Matt to say, though, isn't it? It's good to wait for Matt to say, cheer up, David. It never happens 55 times this season.
David is when David messages me, very cheery. Only when it comes to town, he feels a little bit negative.
Simon also says, improving. Our house, Stansfield looking incredible. Yeah, but we're not covering Birmingham this week. Our house, that was last week, and we'll do that again when we play them again. We got an answer to the question on social media. 3-word review. Ian Plum, it was okay. Steady on the excitement there, Ian.
Calm it down, Ian.
Yeah. Cross-taking keeper needed, says Darren Clark. Nottingham Tractor Boy should start Chaplin. Magic Fimbo, that damn post, which is very true. That damn post. That damn post.
Didn't help us, that did it? He's been very unlucky, Szmodics, isn't he? Like, he's very close to come scoring at St Andrews, and then he hits the post in the game yesterday. Look, millimetre to the left or whatever. He hit the others that there, and it's in the back of the net, isn't it? But there we go. It is.
Yeah. So that was my first tweet since 12th of the 7th, 2025. So actually, I surprised myself.
Oh, not as well. I thought you were going to go back into the Premier League campaign. It's funny, isn't it? How everyone is loving Chaplin, because when he played against Liverpool, didn't he, this time last year when the season started, and then he sort of disappeared, didn't he? No one was that fussed really. And we was like, oh, it's a bit gutting really, because he's been so good for us, on and off the pitch. But now we're back at the level of the Championship. Everyone, suddenly he's back in the forefront of everyone's minds. But when he was in the Premier League and signing X, Y, and Z, he just got lost in the numbers a little bit, I suppose.
Freedom Fishing, good work, guys. Keep it up. Appreciate that. Go and check out Freedom Fishing.
Big Dave. Good to see you, Dave.
Yeah, Big Dave's YouTube channel. We had a great fan reaction show. I'm hoping to get out still. I've pulled it. There's a couple of issues with it. My own issues, not anything anyone's done. So I just want to tweak a little bit of it, and then it'll be re-released. But appreciate the people who came on the show. Dave was one of them. Go and check out his content. I think it's fishing and mental health. So go and check it out. Give it a subscribe. Give it a like. Let's go and support Big Dave. We've got Chris Smith. If we'd assign Hackney, who'd put out the midfield between Matusiwa or Koyus? I'm going to star that. We will pick that up on Wednesday's show. Join us on Wednesday, 8 p.m. For more ITFC debate, hopefully discussing a signing or three. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or even more, even a rumour or three. I take rumours. I'm at that stage of the window where I take rumours, because rumours could lead somewhere. But until then, this man here has been Matt Phillips. Thank you for joining me. You have been a wonderful audience. There's a sea of content out there. Thank you so much for choosing Talking Town. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And thank you so much for leaving your comments. But until Wednesday, 8 p.m, you take care of yourself. I'm actually going out tomorrow night with this fella. I know. I never leave the house, but tomorrow I apparently am. Don't know how I said yes. Don't know why I said yes, but
I don't even know where we're going yet. Stowmarket, watch out.
Oh, hang on. I better check I better check to see if my goldfish needs walking actually before I come here. But anyway, see you Wednesday, 8 p.m. You make me smile when I think of you. If I